Myself Rakesh Trivedi. From this lecture, I am going to discuss about assignment solution of NPTEL course, that is Microwave Integrated Circuit, that is the part of the electrical and electronic branch of NPTEL MOOC course, massive open online course. Now we are discussing the assignment solution of transmission line and waveguide, that is week 1, and we are going to solve the previous 3 years solutions. Okay, so let's start. First question is the coaxial cable supports. So coaxial cable supports only TEM mode. TE and TM modes both are supported by waveguides. So the answer is A. Coaxial cable supports TEM mode. Now two sentences are given. Which one is correct? For TEM mode, transmission line cutoff frequency is 0. That is very true because in TEM mode, EZ and HZ, electric and magnetic components both are 0. So the transmission line cutoff frequency is 0. But for waveguide, it passes TE and TM mode, and that means definitely some have the critical frequency, that is non-zero. So number 1 is correct and number 2 is false. So answer is B. 1 is correct and 2 is wrong. Okay. Now transmission line has length lambda by 2 is given with characteristic impedance ZO at one side and other side is short circuited. What is the impedance? So if you observe that one end is short circuited, that means the ZL is equal to 0 from the one side. And if you see the impedance from the another side, then we will see the short circuit impedance. Okay, and that is value equal to Z0. Okay, so you answer is C. You will see the short circuit impedance. So if you calculate this, then equation of Zin is equal to ZO, ZL plus JZO tan beta L divided by ZO plus JZL tan beta L. For short circuit, ZL is equal to 0. So if you put ZL is equal to 0 over here, you will get Zin is equal to JZO tan beta L. Okay, and L is equal to lambda by 2 and beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda, that is wave number. So you will get Zin is equal to 0. That is short circuit impedance. So answer is C. Okay. Next is the magnitude of the reflection coefficient of open circuit transmission line is what? Then you know the reflection coefficient equation, sigma is equal to ZL minus ZO divided by ZL plus ZO. Okay. So if you take the ZL out common, so it will become 1 minus ZO by ZL divided by 1 plus ZO by ZL. For open circuit, ZL is equal to infinite. Okay. So if you put infinite over here, then you will get reflection coefficient is equal to 1 because this ZO by ZL equal to 0. So 1 minus 0 divided by 1 plus 0, that will give reflection coefficient is equal to 1. So answer is C. Reflection coefficient magnitude is 1. Okay. Next, the two sentences are given. Which one is correct? We have to find input impedance of transmission line is periodic function of frequency. Again, input impedance of transmission line is periodic function of characteristic impedance. Okay. So if you consider this, the input impedance is periodic function of frequency only. Okay, it is not a periodic function of characteristic impedance because Zin, if you calculate this, then in which the tan beta L term is there. So beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda. So input impedance is directly proportional to frequency. So equation number 1 is correct and second is false. Okay. Next, the reflection coefficient phase is constant over the length or magnitude is constant. So always remember that reflection coefficient magnitude is always constant irrespective of the value of load impedance or input impedance or characteristic impedance. Its magnitude is always constant. Okay, phase is not constant. So only the sentence 2 is correct and 1 is false. So the answer is C, that is 1 is false and 2 is correct. Okay. Next, the impedance in the upper semicircle of the impedance Smith chart represent dash. So you have two types of chart. One is the impedance Smith chart and another admittance. In upper semicircle, the value of the load impedance is defined by R plus J beta. Okay, that means real part plus imaginary part. So real part plus inductive parts. So the answer is C. Combination of real as well as inductive imaginary. Okay, because in upper semicircle, the inductance is represented by R plus J omega L, that is real plus imaginary part. So imaginary part is inductive part. So answer is C. Free space impedance is equal to, so you know the free space impedance eta is equal to square root of U by epsilon. So that is equal to 125 or 377 ohm. So answer is D. Okay, that is straightforward answer. For match transmission line, VSWR is equal to Kaljigya. It is dash. So you know the what is match load. So ZL is equal to ZO. Okay. And what is VSWR? VSWR is equal to 1 plus reflection coefficient divided by 1 minus reflection coefficient. Okay, and reflection coefficient is ZL minus ZO divided by ZL plus ZO. So if you put ZL is equal to 0, that is for match load, you will get reflection coefficient is equal to 0. And if you put the reflection coefficient in the VSWR, you will get VSWR is equal to 1. So answer is VSWR is equal to 1. That is answer is C. Okay. The transmission line of length is given lambda by 4. Characteristic impedance ZO 15 is given. It is terminated with 100 ohm impedance, that is ZL. ZL is equal to 100. What is the input impedance? So this is the equation of the input impedance. You know Zin is equal to ZO, ZL plus JZO 10 beta L divided by ZO plus JZL 10 beta L. You have the value of L, length of the transmission line. You have value of ZO, ZL and beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Put all this value in the equation. You will get Zin is equal to 25 ohm. So answer is C. Okay. Now transmission line having characteristic impedance ZO is given 50 ohm, is shorted at one side. What is the input impedance at the other end if the length of the transmission line is dash? So this is the equation. Zin is equal to ZO, ZL plus JZO 10 beta L divided by ZO plus JZL 10 beta L. So for short circuit, you know the ZL is equal to 0. Put ZL is equal to 0 over here. Length is given lambda by 8 and beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda, that is wave number, and ZO is given 50 ohm. You put all the values in this, you will get Zin is equal to 15J, 50J, 50J, that is equal to D. Okay. Next, transmission line has length L is connected between ZL and ZS, source impedance ZS. What is the value of L that the condition ZL is equal to ZS is satisfied? This condition is relating with the maximum power transfer theorem. Okay, in order to transfer maximum power from input to output, the load and source impedance both are same. So here both are same. So what is the value of the L? So this is the characteristics of lambda by 2 transmission line, half wave transmission line, in which ZL and ZS both are same and the maximum power is transferred from source to the load. So what is the value of L? That is equal to lambda by 2. Lambda by 2, that is equal to C. It is half wavelength transmission line. So answer is C. Okay. The characteristic impedance of lossless transmission line is dash. So you know the equation of characteristic impedance ZO. ZO is equal to square root of R plus j omega L divided by G plus j omega C. And for lossless line, R is equal to 0 and G is equal to 0. So if you put R and G both are 0 in that equation, you will get ZO is equal to square root of L by C. And that is completely real number. Okay, so pure real. So the answer is A, pure real. Next, 400 ohm transmission line is to be matched with the 100 ohm line. So the characteristic impedance of the quarter wave transformer. So for quarter wave transformer, if ZL and ZS both are given and you are required to find the characteristic impedance ZO, then equation of ZO is equal to square root of ZO1 multiplied by ZO2. So ZO1 is given 400 ohm and ZO2 is given 100 ohm. If you put both the values in this equation, you will get 200 ohm at the answer. So answer is D. Okay, it is straightforward equation, but just you have to put the values in that equation. Which mode has the lowest cutoff in coaxial cable? So you remember this thing. In coaxial cable, only TEM mode are going to be passed or are only allowed. No TE, no TM is allowed. So coaxial cable only supports TEM mode. So answer is B. Okay, so it is same as the question number 1. Okay, the coaxial cable supports TEM mode. So answer is B. Next, the value of VSWR on the uppermost circle of the Smith chart would be. No, so you remember the Smith chart. Smith chart, this chart starts with the 0 and goes up to infinity. So for VSWR, the minimum value is 1 and the maximum value is infinite. So maximal value, it represents the outermost circle. So at the outermost circle, the value of VSWR is infinite. Okay, so answer is B. The dominant mode in rectangle waveguide. So you know the dominant mode, it is TE10 because this mode have longest cutoff wavelength and smallest frequency and low loss. So dominant mode for rectangle waveguide is TE10. That is answer is B. Okay. In rectangle waveguide for TE mode, which of the following statement is true? For TE mode, the electric component is always 0 and magnetic component is non-zero. So for TE mode, E component is always 0. So which option satisfied this? So option D is satisfied. The longitudinal component of E is 0. Okay. Here H is 0, that is it is represent TM mode. Both are 0, that means TE mode. Both components are non-zero, that is TEM mode or any other mode. But this represent TE is equal to 0, that is TE mode. Okay, so answer is D. Okay. The propagation constant of lossless line is dash. So you know the equation of propagation constant. It is equal to square root of R plus j omega L multiplied by G plus j omega C. For lossless line, R is equal to 0, resistance is equal to 0, as well as conductance is equal to 0. So if you put, you will get ZO is equal, propagation constant is equal to square root of J square omega square LC. So J omega LC, and J represent complex number. Okay, it is imaginary number. So the answer is B, pure imaginary. It's not a complex number. Okay, it contains only imaginary number, because complex number contains real as well as imaginary part. But here we got only the imaginary part. So answer is B. The location of perfectly matched load on Smith chart lies on the intersection of dash. So if you know the theory of Smith chart, how to draw Smith chart, the Smith chart always start with the radius is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0 circle. So the answer is C. Radius always going to be 1 and x is equal to 0 for perfectly matched load. Okay. Next, the impedance characteristics of lossless transmission line is same for every dash wavelength. So if you know the characteristics of lambda by 2 wavelength, then the impedance always same for after every lambda by 2 rotation. Okay, so answer is lambda by 2, that lambda by 2 that is equal to 0.5. Okay, so answer is D, 0.5. The input impedance of lossless line having characteristic impedance ZO and terminated with 0 with equal to length equal to lambda is dash. So if you use the equation Zin is equal to ZO square root of is in bracket ZL plus JZO 10 beta L divided by ZO plus JZL 10 beta L. If you put the ZL and ZO is equal to ZO and L is equal to lambda, you will get answer is ZO. Okay, D. So answer is very simple. In rectangle waveguide, it supports dash. So rectangle waveguide always supports both the modes, TE and TM modes. So answer is C. Both TE and TM modes exist. Next, in non-magnetic material, E field is given by E is equal to this equation and S is equal to this equation. The impedance offered by the medium. Here the impedance, which is nothing but the free space impedance or intrinsic impedance. So intrinsic impedance eta is equal to electric field divided by magnetic field. Okay, so we are going to take the ratio of the both magnitude. So electric field have magnitude of 1000 and magnetic field have magnitude of 5. So 1000 divided by 5, that is equal to 200. So impedance is equal to 200, that is answer B. Okay. If a transmission line of length L, characteristic impedance ZO is terminated with 0, then the input impedance of the transmission line is dash. So if you have transmission line which is having length L, input impedance we have to find, the length of the transmission line is L, impedance is 0 and terminated also 0. So if you draw the impedance, if you see the impedance from the transmission line end, you will always find the value that is equal to load impedance. So load impedance, what is load impedance here? So load impedance is Z0, because here it is mentioned that it is terminated with ZO. So that is equal to load impedance. So answer is ZO. So answer is D. Okay. The magnitude of reflection coefficient increases, the ratio of Vmax to Vmin is dash. So reflection coefficient equation is that is equal to Vmax divided by Vmin. So if you increase the reflection coefficient, the Vmax to Vmin ratio is increased, but the magnitude of a reflection coefficient always remains constant. Okay, so you remember this thing, magnitude always remains constant. So answer is C. Okay. A transmission line with characteristic impedance of ZO is equal to 70 ohm, is excited with load impedance that is equal to ZL 30 plus 14J. What is the voltage minimum occurred during the transmission line? So you have value of ZO, you have value of ZL. So first of all, find out reflection coefficient. So reflection coefficient is equal to ZL minus ZO divided by ZL plus ZO. So if you put the value of ZO and ZL, you will get reflection coefficient like this in complex number. Then find the value of VSWR. So VSWR is equal to 1 plus mod T divided by 1 minus mod T. So if you find the magnitude, you will get the 2.68 as a S. Okay. So what is voltage minimum? So voltage minimum is equal to ZO divided by S, and voltage maximum, that is equal to ZO multiplied by S. But here it is asked to find voltage minimum. So ZO divided by S. So value of ZO is given 70 ohm, as well as divide by S. S is value is given, you have already find 2.68. So if you calculate this, you will get 26 point something. So 26.54 is the answer. So answer is C. Okay. In the admittance Smith chart, upper portion of the Smith chart represent dash. So you have two types of Smith chart as we are going to compare. One is the impedance Smith chart, and another is admittance Smith chart. In impedance Smith chart, upper portion represent inductive region, while in admittance Smith chart, upper portion represent capacitive region. Okay, so it is just reverse. So answer is B, capacitance. Okay. Next, long power transmission line supplies 1500 megawatt at 750 kilowatt to match load. Match load, that means ZL is equal to ZO. Suppose the load is disconnected. The reflection coefficient as the match load is dash. So if you find the reflection coefficient for match load, that is equal to ZL is equal to ZO, then you will get reflection coefficient is always, that is a value equal to 1. Okay, sorry 0, because match load ZL is equal to ZO. And if you put the equation, if you put the value of ZL and ZO, you will get the reflection coefficient is equal to 0. Okay, and for VSWR it is value is 1. So reflection coefficient is always 0. Okay. Transmission line has propagation constant is given 0.01 plus J 0.05. ZO characteristic impedance is given 50 ohm. ZL is given 50 plus 50 J connected at one end. The impedance of the line at another end. So this is the schematic. You have transmission line. The characteristic impedance ZO 50J and the load impedance is 50 plus 50J. So if you see from this side, the what is the value of load? So if you measure the input impedance, that is exactly equal to the load, because there is no impedance in between that. Okay, so if you measure the input impedance from this side, you will get the entire ZL as a input impedance. So answer is 50 plus 50J. So answer is C. Okay. Next, larger the standing wave ratio, larger the maximum voltage and lower the minimum voltage. And another statement is larger the VSWR, but there is a perfect match between the line impedance and load impedance. So in standing wave ratio, it has nothing to do with the maximum and minimum voltage. Okay, this minimum voltage and maximum voltage arises in the case of reflection coefficient. Okay, so standing wave ratio, it represent the how the input power is flow from the input to output side. What is the maximum power? So if the VSWR is very high, then that means the ZL is equal to 0. That is perfectly matched between input and output, and maximum power are going to be transferred. So the answer is B. That means the answer is, this statement is right. Larger the VSWR, that means perfect match between the impedance and load impedance and line impedance. Okay, because higher the VSWR, that means lower the reflection coefficient, and lower the reflection coefficient, that means the maximum power is transferred from input to output. That means maximum match between the source and the load. So the statement R is correct and A is false, and that is satisfied by D. So A is false and R is true. So that's all from my side. I hope this video information, this all the assignment solution helps you in the present session of the NPTEL course as well as the upcoming session also. So that's all from my side. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. In next lecture, we will discuss the assignment solution of week 2. Okay, so thank you very much.